Howdy, SimTheWorld here. We are back with Farming Simulator 19. The last episode we started off the early spring, talked about how I'm now having students come in to run this side of the farm. We got some different greenhouses for them to take care of too. It's sort of an educational work and learn experience we're marketing it as. So universities are, of course, collecting tuition from the students and then sending them over here, and they are learning how to manage a farm. So for the greenhouses, these have actually been really good passive income. Let me pop over here to my finance tab. As you can see, let me take a look here. Property income, we're getting about $2,800 for the greenhouses per day, and that's only from these two. So these two the students will take to market. They'll kind of sell them off on the side. I did help them with the manure. We have that big trailer, so I was able to fill the trailer and just kind of come over here and dump it in, but I may or may not be available to them to do that at all times. As for the potatoes, this one's a little different. We can come over here and you can see we are actually full on potatoes, so I need to grab the bag. I'm not sure why only one bag fills and then it can't keep going. That is a little disheartening. Hopefully that strap works. I guess we're about to find out. Put both on, that will make a difference. But yeah, it wasn't... They don't sell passively, so we got to take these to the supermarket as well. I'm going to go ahead and speed up the time now that we talked about these things. I try to keep it at 15 times speed unless I'm like explaining the previous episode, at which case I don't want to burn up my time that I could be working in a field by explaining the previous episode. But I am curious how much a sack of potatoes go for. I'm just hoping it pays for the gas to get to the store. This should be 500 potatoes though, so it's not an insignificant amount. Probably not something I'd be throwing around one-handed. But, we didn't need that sign, that's okay. Let's go ahead, we'll go to the supermarket. This is where I expect we'd sell it anyhow. And here we are. Undo these straps that protected our bag. I will say these straps did work because I actually tried to record this the first time, and coming around those turns, the bag went flying and I couldn't find it, so I had to restart the recording. And oh, 150 bucks for the 500 potatoes. Not too sure if that was worth my trip down, but the students should be taking care of that in the future. Maybe we'll get a little wagon for them and they can start storing those bags off to the side, and we'll take them in one bigger trip. Oh no, not my big truck. I couldn't see the front end of this thing. We're just hitting everything now. And we're taking the sign. This is actually really impressed there. The sign wanted to come for a journey, and a journey it will come with us. So I did want to also mention, the prior month, most of our work actually came in the form of contracts. As I mentioned in the past, we do a lot of fertilizing contracts, and that has been... We took a lot at the end of last episode, and rather than letting you guys, making you guys watch as I go through each and every fertilizing contract, I took care of some of those, and I need to, one, fill up the fertilizer. We're completely out. And then two, probably see if there's any more we can take. So here are the contracts. You can see we went through a lot. I was very busy. I'm working morning to night. I still have a few left out. There's a few more I can take. We got to collect the cash for this. I'll deal with those in a second. As you may know, we do try to limit, or we do limit it to 2 fertilizing sessions per field. That will get each field up to 100%. The contracts don't necessarily do that. Our first year of play, we were offered multiple contracts for the same field, and in some cases we took that. I know field 14 we probably fertilized 4 or 5 times, and I don't think that's the right thing to do. So for our playthrough series, I'm limiting it to 2, and I keep track of that on a spreadsheet. Someday I'll show you guys that. Certainly not, oh, here it is. Yep, you can see I even keep track of the prior years. We can see how much we're doing. And the bags of fertilizer certainly hurt our profit. Oh, we are 15 grand lower. And as you can see, I ran this thing practically dry. We've got a lot to fill up. I'm going to take care of this. In addition, we probably should double check our fields too. See how they're doing. So field 34 is looking, it's at the last growth state. We just got to wait for autumn, make sure no weeds pop up. We did plenty of weed prevention. I sprayed that thing twice with herbicide. I don't expect to see a single weed out of there. So after consulting the spreadsheet, these of course I need to fertilize too. They haven't been fertilized this year, so I'll take all of those contracts. As you can see, we are right here, so it would kind of make sense to do some of this work rather than just leaving without making any of this happen. I probably can get a couple of these fields done really quickly. And in fact, let me get this set up. If you guys haven't seen in the past, I installed the GPS system on this tractor, and let me show you guys how it works. I've done this before. I always use the A+ heading, that way it's kind of automatically set for which direction you want. Make sure to auto width it, which that doesn't look right. That doesn't look right at all. So I'll set my direction, which 0 degrees is fine. We'll shift this over to make sure those orange dots line off to the right hand side. Then all I have to do is activate this. You see, there we go. We're getting 71 there. That looks better. Perfect. We'll set the cruise control, and it will start to follow this line, and I'll turn on the fertilizer. There we go. And this has been the most easy way I found to do this. Because of the GPS system, it follows this track. And I know it was added with the precision farming, but I can also get equipment set up, and we might do this in the near future, that they're radar detectors that also help with the GPS system. I'm not sure exactly how that works, but supposedly it makes it more efficient. That might also just be if I were to use hired workers and it follows and creates a better line, which, if you've been watching my series long, you know I'm not a fan of using hired workers. The only workers we're getting are students. So then the nice thing about the GPS system is you catch your next line and there's no wasted fertilizer. You follow the lines. No more double passing. Because I don't know about you guys, but I really can't tell. You know, on the left there, we were supposed to, you know, we did fertilize that. And on the right, it needs it. Can you guys tell where I fertilized and where I haven't? I sure as shit couldn't, and that's why we got the GPS system. It's a time saver, it gets us going. I probably should have repaired this. The tractor needs some work. I didn't repair any tools over the winter, so maybe after these fields I'll go ahead and take care of that too. But with all that said, let's get through these fields. as you guys can see, we went through and we completely finished. Oh wow, you weren't even going to stop, were you? Yeah, we finished 4 of the 6 contracts. And basically just about paid for all the fertilizer we just bought. So if you're wondering how to make money in this game, picking up a good tractor, getting the GPS, and of course, getting some fertilizing contracts, that's the way to do it. And, you know, before long, you too might just be a master ferter, just like me. That's what my wife would say. So, I think this is where we're going to wrap up this episode. We did quite a lot of work. We got a lot done. Hopefully the students have been hard at work on the farm too. Those chickens don't take care of themselves. And of course they got to keep selling those tomatoes and lettuce, heads of lettuce. That way we get all that passive income in the meantime. You guys should let me know, what should we focus on this year? We're doing the chickens, or I guess the students are. I do want to expand the farm out, pick up a couple more fields this year, but I'm also thinking about, at some point soon, we should really consider purchasing our own harvester. That way we don't need to keep leasing that each year. I think that might be wise, but that is something I think you guys should let me know about. Obviously, you know, we're pushing this about as far as we can. I've got a few more ideas up my sleeve, but as we start to fill up with the cows, we've got 100 already. At some point, this thing's going to get filled, and I don't know if there's anywhere we're going to be able to expand to. So with that, thanks for watching as I simulate my life one game at a time. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss any of the future action. You can follow on Twitter for updates of future games being played, as well as follow on Twitch, as I'll occasionally stream live. Thanks, and I'll see you next time at SimTheWorld.